The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Hello and welcome to Empowering Entrepreneurs. My name is Melissa Carter and I'm the owner of The Holistic Package. I offer inspirational and empowering services and products including Reiki. I'm an author and I'm also a mentor. And I started the show Empowering Entrepreneurs because as a woman in business, I'm among many amazing women in the local Albany community. And I really wanted a chance to highlight the women in the community who have their own businesses or organizations and are doing amazing things. So today I have two guests, and my first guest today is Victoria Yusko. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome. And Victoria is the CEO and founder of No Bottom Left Behind Diaper Bank. And first, I do want to recognize Victoria because she was just named one of the YWCA of the Greater Capital Region Resourceful Women, and congratulations on that. That's a fantastic honor.
Thank you so much.
So to jump right in, we want to know a little bit more about what No Diaper Left Behind Bank is and your mission and your goals. So just to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Well, it's No Bottom Left Behind. Mm-hmm. We try to change lives of the baby one bottom at a time. I'm a residential director for Capital District DDSO, which is Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. Okay. So I've done that for probably about 26 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And we actually became a nonprofit 501c3 in March of 2016.
Oh, fantastic. And So in March of 2016 is when the No Bottom Left Behind began.
Yes.
Okay, great. And so what your mission is helping, is it individuals, is it other organizations do you work with, or how does that work?
We previously had started off as a local initiative, just a group of individuals. I actually had an experience 26 years ago. I myself struggled with diaper need, and who would figure that today, 26 years later, that there would actually be still a need for diaper need. You know, it's a basic need for individuals. It's very devastating as a parent and demoralizing to know that you cannot provide basic needs for your child.
Yes, and again, I mean, the mission is great. Are you covering the Albany area, or what's the general area that you cover?
We actually had started off with private cases in the organization. We took on families that actually in the capital region, in the 14 surrounding areas as well, counties, with people that had diaper need. Okay. And then it became so relevant that it was just a huge need. That it was just totally amazing how we grew within 6 months. And there was a lot of areas that we couldn't reach because our diaper bank is located in Johnstown. And we had made the decision to partner up with other 501c3 agencies and organizations in the capital region area and have a referral-based organization. So we actually now are transitioning our operations to serve the 501c3 agencies in the capital region area. And individuals then can be served through these organizations.
Oh, great. And what I know I've seen some of the events you have coming up, and can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're constantly doing diaper drives. That's what we do. We're always asking the public for contributions to donate. We're all a pure volunteer agency, organization that we have no paid salaries. We all just devote our time and our energy to the diaper bank. So our success, self-sufficient on donations from the public. We basically have gone to the public and do diaper drives on consistently. So what we'd have right now scheduled is we're going to be at the Petite Retreat in Saratoga Springs, and that is on the 30th of this month, and we're doing a diaper drive.
October 30th?
October, 30th. And then we also, November 16th, are going to be at the Baby Expo at the Albany Marriott here in Albany.
Great.
We're doing another diaper drive. And then we actually have now December 3rd, we're having Santa Baby, which is an actual diaper drive, and it's going to be a lot of fun because not only have we adopted 34 families from our diaper bank and providing them with little maybe infant gifts or toys, but we are actually bringing Santa Claus in.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so they can come and visit the diaper bank. And we also opened it up to the public, so
Fantastic.
people can, we're asking a suggested donation of either a package of unopened diapers or a monetary donation. And you can come in, see Santa. We also have power parties, which Batman's going to be there, Spider-Man's going to be there, Elsa, Anna. So a little treat bag. It's kind of fun, just so the community can see what we're doing. We have a lot of questions because we're not open to the public. The diaper bank is private. So we have a lot of people that's curious to see exactly what we do. So this is a great opportunity for people to come and see us and visit us, see Santa.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's great that you, like you said, you're out in the community and people can see what you do, and that you have all the volunteers that you have for the organization. So if people are interested, let's say, in just donating diapers, do they contact you directly? Do they contact the organization? How does that work?
Well, we actually, on our Facebook page, we have a PayPal Me in which people can actually donate right through our Facebook page.
Okay.
We have people that send money contributions to us right at the diaper bank. All the information is right on our Facebook page. We're actually getting ready to publish our .org website, which is very exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah, so it's amazing how much we've grown within 6 months.
Yes, that's fantastic. I mean, in the grand scheme, 6 months is a short period, and your name's already out there and recognized. So that's very important, and it's very important work that you do, and just being recognized by the community.
Absolutely.
So what have, kind of transitioning a little, what have been some of the successes and challenges? I know you saying that your own personal experience drove you to start this and become a part of this. As a woman in business, how is this, or running an organization, what are some of the successes and challenges that you feel you faced?
Some of the successes that we've had is, it's amazing. I just keep saying amazing. The public response has been a great success for us because we wouldn't be able to thrive without the public and their donations. To date, within 6 months, we've have actually over 25,000 diapers that have been donated, and over 18,500 something wipes.
Wow, that's
so amazing in 6 months. And on an average, we usually send out 3,500 to 3,800 diapers a month to families that are in need.
That really is fantastic. That's a really big number. So
absolutely, and it's been great. Success-wise, I think I'm more empowered because I see people that are really in need. People haven't abused it. People come in and they're very grateful, and just knowing that we're there to fill the gap. We're not there. We want people to be self-reliant, of course, naturally, but sometimes you just need that little extra to get you from paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes when there's no resources, it's better to know that there's something out there.
Yes.
Or we can actually send people to other resources, and that's another benefit, a success that we're having with our 501c3 agencies that we actually partner with. It's a wonderful thing because we all work together. I'll call up one of my partners and say, I have a request for this, this, and this, and they're like, we got it. I'm like, I'm sending them over. We also get a lot of contributions that we don't even ask for. People give us baby food, they give us formula, clothing, and I give them to my partners because it helps them also.
Yeah, we have such a great, as I said, great community of supporters in all different industries. So it's really great that you can use them as a resource and vice versa.
Absolutely.
And what have there been any challenges? Anything that that stands out?
Yeah, there's challenges, of course, being a total voluntary organization in relying on public donation. There's some months that we struggle. I've taken personally money out of my own pocket to go buy diapers for families that are in need. The struggle, it's just becoming a new organization, a new 501c3 nonprofit, just learning the ropes, finding out what works, what doesn't work. That alone, can be troubling sometimes, but we always work through it, and we always learn and move forward. It's, like I said, amazing that we have come so far in 6 months. I couldn't imagine where we're going to be in a year.
That's fantastic, and that kind of leads into my next question of, where do you see this going within the next 5 years? I mean, in 6 months you've done so much already, but do you want to expand out? Do you have certain goals that you'd like to see happen?
Yeah, we have now grown again. We keep saying we're growing. We have actually our front room of the diaper bank is totally full, and now we have moved into the back room. And now the back room is almost full. So we have a 5-year plan that we would actually like to be the premier Capital Region diaper bank warehouse, where we'll be able to service all the organizations within the Capital Region area within a 3-hour radius. And we're hoping that maybe a car dealership or one of the big car dealership agencies will be able to be kind to us and maybe donate, or we can raise money for a delivery cargo van. And we really would like to have a mobile rural connection with counties in towns that we can't get to, or they can't get to us because we are in Johnstown.
Yes.
And that is a big need in the rural agencies, in the rural area, in which there's very minimal agencies. Transportation's an issue, resources are an issue, and we would really love to be able to be remote and deliver and set up, in the local areas and towns.
Yeah, well, hopefully, like you said, with some time, then those goals will come to fruition.
Absolutely.
And so, for anyone else who's thinking about starting an organization or business, just in general, do you have any advice for them? What kind of inspirational words would you give to them?
Well, you're never going to sleep. It's very empowering. I never thought that I never just opened up my eyes one day and said, I want to open a diaper bank. This was a need that I had suffered 26 years ago. Like I said, who would know that today it's still plaguing our community. The need is still there. Our mission is to also raise public awareness of diaper need in our communities. And a lot of people don't realize that, the struggle is real. A lot of people, believe, there's a stigma knowing that a lot of people, that's also one of the difficulties that we face, is that people think, well, because you're low income and you're poverty, that, they get everything, they get all the resources. I've heard comments, they eat better than we do, That's really a stigma, because people don't want to be in poverty. People don't ask to be low income. Unfortunately, we're all thrown into a certain set of circumstances. Some of us, unexpected crises that can just turn your life upside down. People live paycheck to paycheck. And it's very hard, because a lot of people don't realize and understand that WIC does not cover diapers. They cover formula, and now today with the government, the formula alone sometimes doesn't even carry you through the month. And people don't realize that food stamps, they don't pay for diapers either. So when you're poor and, you might be getting food stamps and you might get other assistance, but when you have no money, where do you buy diapers? How do you buy diapers?
Right.
Especially, when, you're really restrained when it comes to income. And we do have programs out there that do help and assist, but we have a child care subsidy in which pays for child care, so people with low income can go to work. But people don't realize that in order for your child to be in daycare, a requirement is that you have to bring diapers. So, we're not maximizing our resources because you can get daycare, but yet you're going to be forced to call in because you can't bring your child to daycare.
Right.
You know, and I have heard of some circumstances in which people have lost their jobs because they had to call in sick because they didn't have enough diapers. They had to ration throughout the week, or they ran out. And the daycare provider said, you can't bring a child here without bringing diapers. Mm-hmm. So it's, you know, we're not really maximizing the potential of some of our resources, mm-hmm. and it's really tough on a lot of families today, especially.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's great that you're saying you're bringing public awareness and educating people and communities about the need and what kind of resources you provide, or where they might be able to find resources, because that's really where it starts. So
absolutely,
you have a great mission, and I just want to thank you for being on today.
Thank you so much.
I know you said you're on Facebook, and you're
are.
working on your website, but if anyone wants to learn more information about No Bottom Left Behind Diaper Bank, you can visit Facebook and be on the lookout for the events and the website coming soon. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Victoria.
Thank you so much.
My second guest today is Kiera Jones, entrepreneur and empowerment and success coach of Kiera Jones & Co. and the K. Jones Collection. Welcome, Kiera.
Thank you, Melissa. So excited to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about your company and your background, if you want to start with that, and your mission, and kind of what brought you into your own business?
Oh, yeah, of course. So start my background. So for me, this whole entrepreneur journey really started about 2 years ago. A little dramatic, but I looked in the mirror one day and I really cried. I cried because two things. One, I had just been denied for a promotion that I was qualified for and actually was already doing in my corporate job. And then two, my company had went through some downsizing, and I wasn't impacted personally, but I lost friends. And most importantly, someone that stuck out to me was I lost someone who had dedicated a lot of time, a lot of energy into this company for years. And for me, in my heart, I said, that's not where I want to be in 20, 30 years. So I knew something had to change. I just didn't know what. My heart knew, but my brain didn't know what needed to change, or how, or if I could even do it. So I did some internal work, and I just started thinking about what was it that I was passionate about. And so one thing that stuck out to me was jewelry and accessories. So growing up, I was plus size, I had crazy self-esteem, and I really lacked my confidence. And when I got into high school, I started kind of wanting to be more stylish and feel confident on the outside. And I didn't know, but in doing that, I became confident internally, not only on the outside. And so once I did that, fast forward, to now, I established the K. Jones Collection because I really wanted to help women who wanted to be stylish and successful, but for it to come from a place where they wanted to shine inside out, where they wanted to be empowered, where they wanted to look like the ambitious woman that they felt like inside. And so in doing the K. Jones Collection, it's been 2 years. I've had over 60 pop-up shops. I've helped hundreds of women throughout the country. And in doing that, I realized that style confidence wasn't the issue. The issue really was something that I dealt with long ago, which was internal confidence. And it was us trying to style that and mirror it as true confidence. And so I started working with clients to dive deeper and understand what the issue was. And as I was doing that, I had a lot of clients say, you should go into this, you should do this. And I kind of was holding myself back. I said, I don't know, I'll stick with the jewelry. I love the jewelry. I love helping you guys look good and feel good. But something just, when it's your purpose, something just pushes you. And so I established the Women Who Shine community. It was a private group on Facebook, and I started doing empowerment and success coaching. And I just went full-time Friday, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited. And I just went full-time, and it's just an amazing journey. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and to answer your question about my mission, so my mission really is to empower women entrepreneurs to be confident in themselves, to be confident in their gifts, and to unapologetically share that with the world inside out, so that they can live life on their own terms, build their own their life and their business out of a place of purpose and passion.
That is absolutely fantastic, and such a great story and how it came about. And I keep saying and I keep hearing that there's this major shift in the world with women women, entrepreneurs, and women in business, and just our confidence. And again, that's the purpose of this show too, is to highlight women who are taking the next step, starting their own businesses, starting organizations, and really having that self-confidence, because that is where it starts. So the fact that you turned that into the business with your collection, and now moving into the coaching, which I think there's definitely a need for that to help women to move on to that. So having your positive energy and outlook will definitely do that. So the women who shine on Facebook, so you have a group put together, and so what type of post do you have on there?
Yeah, so I'm in there every day, and I do a lot of live streaming, live videos on different topics. I have different themes, but really they all cater to things that women entrepreneurs are going through. So for me personally, in my specialty, I deal with limitations, negative beliefs, negative self-talk, the things that we allow to keep ourselves back. A lot of people think there's external reasons why things don't happen, and too often it's really within us of why we don't proceed, whether it's procrastination, which really is fear, not really knowing what's going to happen, not really wanting to take a chance on yourself. So we talk about all things empowerment, uplifting women, and then I do put in some of that success strategy, business information in there, just because that's my corporate background, and then also building the K. Jones collection. That's what a lot of people have questions on. So it's a combination of empowerment and success, and really just supporting one another, being each other's cheerleader.
That's fantastic. And as I was saying with Victoria, there is a lot of community support where we live and in this community within the Albany and Capital Region area. So I think it's great that we have women supporting each other now, and there's groups dedicated to that specifically, and events and everything. So that's fantastic. And what are some of the strengths and challenges that you've seen from the time? I know you said you started 2 years ago with your business. And so what would you say are some of the strengths and successes and some of the challenges?
Yeah. So some of the successes, the strengths for me would be actually in that first step of deciding. Some people forget that that is actually a step. Until you actually decide that you are going to do something, or that you can do it, no matter what happens, no matter what anybody says, you won't do it. So for me, it really was that moment for me in the mirror saying, I know I need something to be different. So for me, it was deciding. The second thing would be, I've done, like I said, over 60 pop-up shops in the area, and my favorite was a couple months ago, having people come up to me that I don't know to ask me about my brand, or to know, I've seen your website, or I've done this, I've seen that, my friends wear it. So just to know that it's getting the brand awareness that I hoped for. And then I would say another thing would be this, establishing the Women Who Shine community. I actually had that community as a private group for maybe a month or two before I published it. And it was because I was just afraid. I didn't know what people would think. I would have to commit to doing these videos and just sharing myself and being vulnerable, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that. And now it's 407 women in it. And so I'm just like, thank God that I did it, As far as challenges, I would say for me, going back to the first strength I mentioned, deciding was actually a challenge, because I just didn't know how I would do it. I didn't know if I could do it. So that was one of my biggest challenges. The second thing would be, because I built the K. Jones collection entirely while I was still full-time at work, working a 9-to-5. So really just finding the time to be productive, and getting up earlier or going to bed later, or whatever it looked like, for my schedule, putting in that time to build it while I was still full-time was a huge challenge of mine. Yeah, and I mean, I forgot to mention one success would be the fact that I am able to now fully, live in my entrepreneur journey, and not have to worry about, living on someone else's calendar and all that. So, I mean, that was a challenge and a success all in one. It's hard to make that move, but when you believe in yourself and what you know you can do, you do it. So
that is amazing.
Thank you.
Great to hear. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I see the Women Who Shine with Kiera Jones as really a movement. I see it as retreats and live events. Obviously, we have the Facebook community, but I really see myself and others impacting thousands of women, and not just in the Capital Region area, because as you mentioned and you spoke on earlier, there is definitely a huge gap between the idea that, women, we under promote ourselves so much. Men have no problem telling you about what they're doing, about their business, about whatever it is that they do. And as women, we over promote other people before we do ourselves, whether it's our kids, our spouse, someone else we work with. And I don't know, we need to become comfortable with one, loving ourselves, because when you love yourself and you build that relationship with yourself, you are able to see yourself for everything you are and everything you can be, and truly move into what it is that you need to do for yourself. So I see it really as a movement, through writing, through speaking, and then you never know. So don't want to limit myself.
That's really great.
Thank you.
And the idea that you see it, within the big picture, as becoming something, bigger and growing.
Absolutely.
And, that's really inspiring. So, what advice would you give to other women who are interested in starting their own business, taking the leap? Because, that's definitely, I've talked to many people who have done that, and I admire them so much, because it's definitely something hard to do. Yeah. But I think that I've heard a lot of the same response from people who have done it, and it's, like I said, it's so inspiring. But what advice would you give to someone, even who wants to continue working full time and starting their own business? What kind of words of inspiration? Yeah,
the first thing I would really suggest is that before you do any extreme moves, I'm not telling anybody to go and quit your job, because for 2 years I really made my plan, and I would say the first thing is to figure out what it is that you want to do, and number one, know why you want to do it. The road is very difficult. I tell myself, my clients, I keep my why on my wall in my office just to always remind me, because you have up days, you have down days. So I would say really know what you're doing and why you're doing it, so that it can continue to drive you. And knowing that and having clarity on that will help you in the hows. What does my ideal client look like? What's my target market look like? What are their pain points? What do they want? What am I going to provide to them? And when you're talking to those people, how am I going to help them connect the dots? That this is your problem, this is what I do, here's, the two align, and I can help you solve this problem you have. But to me, the biggest thing is knowing what you're going to do, why you're going to do it, and then you can figure out the for who, the what, the where, the when, and why. So
fantastic. Now, as a coach, is there one piece of advice that you tell a lot of people, or is there something that really stands out? Yeah, the biggest thing, one of the first things I do with my clients when we start is I allow them to, I don't allow them, but I welcome them to do a lot of bragging. We create a brag board, and for me that concept is interesting, because when I tell them that, they fight it so much, because they have a hard time talking about themselves and all the things that they've done and the accomplishments. But the reason why the brag board, or whatever you want to call it, is so important is because, one, you are getting to see all of the things that you have done, and the things that you've never celebrated. And usually, no matter how small it is, we can categorize them into different areas, and they figure like, oh my goodness, like this is a strength. Like these 5 things are kind of all the same, and that makes me have this strength. And so maybe that's something I can capitalize on in my business. But we don't know that, because they don't talk about themselves. They don't allow themselves to celebrate all they've done. So what I would recommend for anybody is have a brag board. For me, I have a few, but the one that I use every day, I actually have it taped on the bottom of my keyboard, so that when I'm typing, I move it up and I might write something, and it could be something small. No matter what the size is, the idea is to get you comfortable talking about yourself. And what that does for you and your business is, one, that's going to help you, whether you're at networking events or things such as this, be able to communicate what it is that you do, and the things that you've accomplished, the results that you've gotten. And so just helping them become comfortable, loving on themselves, as I tell them. You got to love on yourself in order for others to love on you. And so the brag board is something I would absolutely recommend. That's fantastic, and that's the first I've heard of that. But I think about that a lot as well, because being in my own business where I stress to people taking care of yourself and feeling good about yourself, and essentially, yeah, it just comes from within. That's all where it starts, and so I think that's absolutely fantastic, and
you.
more people should have that under their keyboard.
Yes, start a bride board party.
Exactly. So is there anything else you wanted to add? Do you have anything coming up that we should know about, or anything, that you'd like to get out there about your business?
Yeah, so I would definitely invite everyone to the Women Who Shine with Kiera Jones group. It's a private Facebook community. You can search for it. That's where you'll find me. I'm always in there. I give a lot of love to that group. And then there's tons of things coming up. I have different coaching packages, one-on-one. You can go to www.kierajones.com for more information on that. And then we have some other projects, some writing projects, some more speaking projects coming up. And so the best place to keep update on those would be in the group.
Okay, great. And you're also on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Yep, Kiera Jones CO, and then the K Jones Collection for the jewelry business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on. Your spirit and positivity is really fantastic, and what you're doing, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to learn more about Kiera, you can find her on Facebook, Instagram, or her website. Thanks again.
Thanks so much, Melissa. Love this.
Thank you.